That answer sounds flexible, but in an interview, it can make you look completely unfocused. Maya asks, "What kind of role are you targeting next?" Ethan smiles and says, "Honestly, I'm open to anything." He adds, "I can adapt to whatever the company needs." Ethan thinks he has shown flexibility. Maya hears something else. No clear direction, no specific motivation, and no strong reason to believe this role is the one he truly wants. That is the problem with interview red flags. The answer can sound good in your head while quietly creating doubt in theirs. In this interview, Ethan gives 7 answers that sound safe, professional, and agreeable. Each one creates a different kind of hiring risk. And for each one, we'll translate what the interviewer may hear and how to fix it. Red flag answer number 1 is simple. I'm open to anything. Flexibility is useful. Lack of direction is not. Interviewers usually want to understand why this role fits your strengths, your goals, and your timing. If your answer could apply to almost any job, your motivation becomes hard to trust. A stronger answer sounds like this. I'm targeting roles where I can combine project ownership, stakeholder coordination, and process improvement. This position stands out because the team needs someone to bring structure to cross-functional delivery. That connects directly to work I've already done. Now Maya can see direction instead of vagueness. She can see fit instead of guesswork. And she can see evidence instead of a generic claim. The practical rule is simple. Name the direction, connect it to the role, and support that connection with evidence. The second answer sounds prepared, but in the wrong way. Jordan asks, "What is one area you are still working to improve?" Ethan says, "I would probably say perfectionism." He adds, "I care a lot about quality, so sometimes I work too hard." That answer feels safe because it sounds polished and harmless. But some interviewers hear a disguised strength. Others hear a rehearsed answer. And some hear low self-awareness. The goal is not to confess your deepest flaw. The goal is to show awareness, management, and improvement. A stronger answer starts with a real pattern. Earlier in my career, I sometimes added too much detail to project updates because I wanted every stakeholder to have the full context. Then it names the consequence. I learned that this slowed decisions. Then it shows the management system. Now I lead with the decision, risk, and next action. I provide more detail only when it actually helps. That sounds more credible because it shows change, not performance. Use this structure for weakness questions. Real pattern, professional consequence, management system, and current evidence that the system now works. Red flag answer number 3 sounds like confidence. Jordan asks, "How do you prefer to work?" Ethan replies, "I work best independently." Then he says, "Once I have the goal, I do not need much supervision." Ethan wants to signal ownership. Jordan may hear something very different. Low visibility, resistance to feedback, or a tendency to involve stakeholders too late. Independence becomes valuable only when it is paired with alignment. A stronger answer is more balanced. I'm comfortable owning work independently once the outcome and decision rights are clear. I keep priorities, progress, decisions, and blockers visible. And I involve stakeholders when their input can change the result. Now the answer shows autonomy without isolation. The practical rule here is simple. Do not present independence as disappearing. Present it as ownership with visibility. The fourth answer appears collaborative. Maya asks, "Tell us about a project you are proud of." Ethan says, "We redesigned the workflow, improved the handoffs, and delivered the launch on time." Then he finishes with, "The team did a great job." That sounds positive and team-oriented. But the interviewers still cannot see Ethan's contribution. A team result does not automatically prove personal capability. And it does not automatically prove ownership. You do not need to remove the team. You need to make your part visible inside the team result. A stronger version begins with the shared outcome. The team launched on time. Then it names Ethan's responsibility. My responsibility was coordinating the work across 3 functions. Then it names his decisions. I introduced a weekly decision review, clarified owners for blocked handoffs, and escalated one scope trade-off early. And finally, it shows the visible outcome. That reduced delays and helped the team meet the launch date. Now the interviewer can see what Ethan actually did. Use this formula whenever a team answer becomes too vague. Team result. My responsibility. My decision. Visible outcome. The fifth answer sounds friendly and low drama. Jordan asks, "Tell me about a conflict with a colleague or stakeholder." Ethan says, I honestly avoid conflict. Then he adds, I get along with everyone. That sounds calm and agreeable, but it may signal that he avoids difficult conversations. It may signal that he delays necessary decisions. And it may signal that he cannot challenge a stronger stakeholder when it matters. Healthy teams do not eliminate disagreement. Healthy teams handle disagreement with clarity, evidence, and respect. A stronger answer makes that visible. I do not create conflict unnecessarily, but I address important disagreements directly. In one project, two teams wanted different launch priorities. I clarified the shared outcome and separated evidence from preference. Then I proposed a smaller first release that protected the critical requirements. We reached a decision without damaging the working relationship. Now the answer shows judgment, not just pleasantness. The sixth answer sounds optimistic. Jordan says, you have not used our reporting platform. How would you handle that gap? Ethan answers, I'm a fast learner. Then he says, I can learn anything quickly. That may be true. But without proof, it does not tell the interviewer how large the gap is. It does not tell them how Ethan learns. And it does not tell them how quickly he can become useful. A stronger answer starts with the fact, I have not used that exact platform in production. Then it adds adjacent proof. I have worked with a related system and used the same reporting logic, so the underlying concepts are familiar. Then it gives learning evidence. In a previous role, I learned a new tool by building one real use case, reviewing it with an experienced user, and applying the feedback immediately. And then it gives the forward plan. I would use the same approach here. The rule is simple. Do not hide the gap. Put it in proportion, show adjacent proof, and explain how you close it. The seventh answer sounds like pure dedication. Maya asks, how do you handle competing priorities? Ethan says, I always say yes. He continues, I work through the list. And then he says, I make sure everything gets done. That sounds hardworking and committed. But an interviewer may hear overpromising. They may hear weak prioritization. They may hear late escalation. And they may hear quality risk. Strong prioritization is not proving you can do everything. It is showing that you can make trade-offs before the deadline is already in danger. A stronger answer sounds like this. When priorities compete, I compare impact, urgency, risk, dependencies, reversibility, and available capacity. I confirm the top outcome and identify what will not happen yet. I communicate the trade-off before the deadline is at risk. And when demand exceeds capacity, I renegotiate scope, timing, or resources instead of silently overcommitting. Now the answer shows judgment instead of just effort. Here is the hidden mechanism behind all 7 red flags. Interviewers are rarely scoring the sentence alone. They are using the sentence as evidence for 4 decisions. First, can you do the work? Second, how do you operate? Third, why does this role make sense for you right now? And fourth, what risk might stop the hiring decision? Before preparing any answer, ask yourself 2 questions. Which decision is being tested? And what evidence would reduce uncertainty? That simple filter improves almost every interview answer. Specific direction beats anything. Real improvement beats a disguised strength. Visible collaboration beats isolation. Personal decisions beat vague team credit. Productive disagreement beats conflict avoidance. Adjacent proof and a plan beat unsupported confidence. And explicit trade-offs beat saying yes to everything. The Career Vector Interview Preparation Workbook helps you build that system before the interview. It includes an interview strategy map, opening answer builders, a 6-story star plus L evidence bank, a question-to-evidence map, a difficult answer builder, and structured practice tools for different interview rounds. Use it to prepare real examples, test the risks in your answers, and practice without memorizing a script. In Ethan's next interview, the questions are almost the same. His answers are not. He gives a clear direction, names his decisions, shows the trade-offs, and replaces adjectives with evidence. Watch next. The interview story bank that makes difficult questions easier.